After being written off as a niche pastime, gaming has become a global phenomenon that appeals to millions. But as one gets older, the game experience changes. Adults' intense love of gaming frequently clashes with duties and expectations, resulting in a complicated relationship with a cherished hobby. Today, I want to talk about the several issues that adult gamers deal with, such as time management, societal perceptions, financial concerns, and the difficulty of leading a balanced life. Hello, everyone. My name is Fejiro, and this is cozyfeji. And on this channel, we cover a variety of things such as video essays, reviews, JRPGs, and all things cozy gaming. Gaming is one of my favorite pastimes. It's one of my favorite hobbies. It's my go-to when I want to unwind after a long day. It's one thing that I gravitate towards to the most. But as an adult, I feel like we can all share the same sentiment, is that finding time to game is probably one of the hardest things to do. Being a full-time student and working part-time, it's really difficult to find the energy and the time to play video games. This semester alone, I have not completed a single video game. I've picked up a couple games here and there, but I've never really taken the time to really finish them because I really don't have the time. Usually after a long day of classes or a closing shift at work, all I really want to do is just like turn off my brain and watch YouTube videos or a movie or something. The idea of physically picking up a video game seems like such a lot of work. So today I just want to talk about my grievances, how to find that balance, and the struggles of also being a homebody too. All those things encompassing of trying to find the time to game as a working adult. Time management is one of the biggest problems adult gamers encounter. In contrast to younger people who might have fewer responsibilities, adults frequently balance work, family, and social obligations. A substantial time commitment is necessary to truly enjoy the immersive quality of contemporary games, with their vast worlds and intricate storylines. But when adults deal with the responsibilities of everyday life, it gets harder and harder to find time for these pleasures. A lot of adults find themselves in situations where they have to decide between necessary activities and gaming. Leisure time is frequently displaced by the necessity to handle domestic chores, provide for children, and have a consistent income. This causes them to feel frustrated and yearning because the game they used to play freely now appears like an unaffordable luxury. Trying to find even an hour or two to game might make you feel guilty, especially when other things in life need your attention. I feel like when it comes to gaming as an adult, it's important that we set aside dedicated time to it, whether that be 30 minutes a day or an hour. If you really have the time, maybe up to 2 or 3, I don't know what your schedule is like. I know for some people want to wait until the kids go to bed, or sometimes after a long shift, maybe you want to crack an open one and also get your favorite game and play. But I think it's pertinent to just set aside some time. Sometimes if I don't really feel like I want to put in a whole session, sometimes I play about 30 minutes, and sometimes those 30 minutes end up leading to an hour or two because I'm so invested. Again, it all depends on the time. Like for me, the weekends are probably the best time for me to play video games, but even then that's kind of asking for a lot, because sometimes I'll have a full shift at work or a closing shift or whatever shift it is. Sometimes I just don't have the time, but usually weekends are always like a go-to. And like I mentioned before, sometimes I'm just so too tired to even pick up any of my games after a long day. Like for me, sometimes I'll have a full clinical work day for school, and that's from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then I have an hour commute home, so I won't get home until like 8, and then I have time to like take a bath, eat dinner, and by the time I'm done all doing that, I have to study for a little bit, and then by the time that's all done, I'm way too tired to do anything, so I just hit the hay. Sometimes it's just really hard to squeeze in that time, because for me, especially someone who plays nothing really but JRPGs, those are a huge time sink. And when I don't have that time to really set aside time to really play them, it's kind of hard and difficult to do, like to really pursue the hobby that I love so much. And also I do have other hobbies, like I like to knit. I also love to read, and even that I barely have time to even just focus on that. So trying to find the balance between video games and my other hobbies can be really difficult. Not only that is that As an adult, you have other obligations. You have whether that be work, your family. Sometimes some of us may have kids or just other people that we have to take care of in our lives that take top priority than, I don't know, 30 minutes on Breath of the Wild. So sometimes other things in our life gets in the way from us picking up our Switch and playing it, you know? Another challenge faced by adult gamers is the general public's view of gaming as a juvenile or pointless pastime. Many adults still come across misconceptions about gamers as being immature or lazy, even in spite of the fact that gaming is becoming recognized as a valid source of entertainment. This can be especially difficult in work settings where playing video games is frequently viewed as a frivolous pastime rather than an acceptable way to unwind or release stress. These views may cause some adults to feel ashamed or embarrassed about their favorite hobby. To avoid criticism, they might feel compelled to keep their gaming habits as a secret from acquaintances, coworkers, or even family. Adults who struggle to balance the need to follow social norms and engage in their enthusiasm for gaming may find gaming less enjoyable and experience internal turmoil. Now, I feel like the stigma of gaming as an adult isn't as strong as it was back in the day. However, I do think that sometimes student people, other adults or your peers might look at gaming as not a productive hobby or something that you're not going to gain from, which I find completely BS. I feel like I learned so much from gaming and I've experienced a lot of fun from gaming as well. I feel like no one really critiques people who are into film or TV shows or music. I feel like video games give you the same insight, knowledge, conversation, discourse that any other medium does. So why does gaming have such a bad rep? I feel like it's definitely getting better as we've gone through the years, but I feel there are some people out there who are like still look at you side-eyed and funny when you tell them you're a gamer at your age. Since gaming can be a costly hobby, individuals' financial obligations usually take precedence. New game purchases, system upgrades, and internet service subscriptions can get expensive very fast. It may seem unwise or even reckless for individuals with children, mortgages, or other financial commitments to set aside money for gaming. This financial pressure might force people to make tough choices, such as deciding whether to save money for more urgent necessity or buy a new game. A sense of being left behind in gaming community can also result from the difficulty of keeping up with the newest hardware and trends due to the rapid growth of the gaming technology. For individuals who want to continue gaming but have to be frugal with their money, the financial side of the activity becomes yet another cause of stress. Now, of course, when you're an adult, that means you have adult money, and that adult money allows you to buy more games. Now, for me, when I had my first proper corporate job outside of college, I bought so many games with that money. I bought more games than I could play, and I also took the time to pick up games that I never got to play as a child or consoles that I never got to experience as a child. But then again, there's also like pros and cons or a double-edged sword with that. Even though you do have adult money, you don't have the time, which is so unfortunate. And I definitely find myself in that predicament where I do have the adult money, but I do not have the time to be playing these games. Also, there's other priorities, like you have other bills, other big purchases that you want to make, whether that's be a down payment on a home or a car or other like insurance, other big bills, you know? So sometimes gaming has to take a backseat because let's be so real, gaming is an expensive hobby. Like for me, I tried to cut back on the video games pickups that I've had this year compared to previous years. I'm not buying as much, and I'm also trying to be more mindful and curating a collection that's more to my taste. An adult's capacity to game can be impacted by the complexity of their interaction with friends, family, and lovers. For example, a partner who's not into gaming can see it as a competing priority, which could cause conflict or miscommunication. Adults could experience pressure to spend time in activities that suit their partner's interests or that are more socially acceptable. Furthermore, since adult gamers have different schedules and obligations, it might be challenging to establish friendships through gaming. It might be difficult to schedule time for to play together, and gaming sessions that were formerly spontaneous are becoming less common. When the social component of gaming fades and people find it difficult to connect with others who share their interests, this can cause a feeling of loneliness. The passive nature of gaming poses health risks, particularly for adults who may already have limited time for physical activity. Prolonged gaming sessions can lead to issues such as eye strain, poor posture, and a lack of exercise, contributing to long term health problems. Additionally, the escapism that gaming provides can sometimes lead to neglect of mental health, as adults use gaming to avoid dealing with stress or anxiety rather than addressing the root causes. It takes deliberate effort to balance gaming with a healthy lifestyle, which can be challenging when time is of the essence. Adults may find it difficult to muster the will or stamina to work out or partake in other healthy activities, particularly following a demanding workday. The trick is to incorporate gaming into a healthy habit that enhances rather than diminishes overall well being. Also, as an adult, it is so important to find balance. Like I mentioned before, I have other hobbies like reading that I want to take part in and to indulge in from time to time. I have family and friends that I want to see and spend time with, so sometimes gaming sometimes takes a back seat, and then my backlog tends to grow, and maybe some games tend to collect dust over time. But I think that's still important too, and that's fine. That I feel like once I'm older, and I'm like in my 70s or 80s, I'll have the time and I'll be retired to play all the games in the world, which I'm so looking forward to. I hope that I'm still able to, my mind is still alert enough to play them, but I know that once I retire, I have a plethora of hours to sink into my huge collection that's waiting for me to play. Adults may lose interest in the games they formerly loved as a result of changing gaming interests. Numerous things such as shifts in one's interests and experiences in life, as well as a desire for shorter or more impactful gaming sessions, might contribute to this growth. Story-driven or easygoing games may become more appealing, while the competitive, fast-paced games that were once exciting may become stressful. However, when adults realize they no longer enjoy the activities that used to bring them delight and joy, this shift in interest can also cause them to feel lost. It might be difficult to discover new games that relate to their present stage of life, and reliving and reviving that love for gaming can be difficult to process that involves a lot of trial and error. Also, there's one thing to even keep in mind is that what I played as a younger kid and adolescence is completely different to what I want to play now. When I was younger, I played a lot more, casual family style games, kind of platformers. But now that I've gotten older, I definitely more focus on story driven, narrative driven, world building stories and JRPGs, for a matter of fact. When I was younger, I did not know what a JRPG even was. I probably seen them in passing, a trailer here and there, but I never really played them until recently, and they have become one of my favorite genres to play. And like I mentioned before, they take up so much time. I think the average JRPG is anywhere from 30 and can go anywhere to 100 plus hours. So JRPGs and RPGs are a huge time sink, which again, like adults, we don't have all that time in the world, unfortunately. The experience of gaming as an adult is complex and influenced by a variety of factors, including changing interests, health concerns, social dynamics, financial worries, and cultural expectations. Despite the difficulties, a lot of grown-ups still find happiness and contentment in gaming, utilizing it as a way to unwind, interact with others, and express themselves. The secret to getting past these obstacles is striking a balance that respects your grown-up obligations as well as your gaming love. Adults can continue to enjoy their beloved passion of gaming without abandoning other elements of their life if they set limits, prioritize self-care, and accept that their relationship with games is changing over time. In the end, adult gaming is about adapting to life's challenges while clinging to the enjoyment that comes with it. Overall, gaming as an adult has its hurdles and has its pros and cons, but I definitely want to make the time and make it known that it's okay that I don't have all the time in the world to play them. I will eventually pick up a game when I can, and that's all that matters. Because when I do pick up that one game for that, 30 minutes of that day, I know I will cherish it just as much as a 5-hour long session. I just want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, and if you enjoyed it, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!